My dad finally sat me down today after dinner in our old living room where we've shared so many memories before the room felt different somehow with a soft yellow light from the lamp making shadows dance on his tired face. He looked at me the way he used to when I was little and had important things to learn like how to ride a bike or tie my shoes, but this time felt bigger, more special, like he had been saving these words for just the right moment. His voice was gentle, almost shaky, which wasn't like my strong dad at all. He started telling me about life's big lessons, things about following my dreams, but also being smart about my choices, about how proud he was of the person I was becoming and how much he wished my mom could see me now. He shared stories I'd never heard before about his own mistakes and victories, about the days when he was young and trying to figure out life just like I am now. His eyes got a bit watery, which made my heart feel both heavy and full at the same time. He talked about love, about family, about staying true to myself even when things get really hard. The way he spoke made every word feel like a gift he'd been carefully wrapping up for years, waiting for this exact moment to share them with me. I could tell these weren't just random thoughts, but pieces of wisdom he collected throughout his whole life, saving them up like precious coins in a jar just to pour them out now when he felt I needed them most. The most touching part was when he shared his biggest hopes and dreams for me, not about becoming rich or famous, but about finding real happiness and peace in life. He talked about how he sees so much of mom in the way I laugh and how I care about others, which made both of us get a bit teary-eyed. Dad opened up about his own fears too, something he rarely does, telling me about times when he wasn't sure if he was being a good enough father, especially after Mom passed away. He mentioned how proud he was the small things I'd done that I didn't even think he noticed, like when I helped Mrs. Johnson next door with her groceries last week, or how I never gave up on learning guitar even when it was really hard. His words weren't fancy or complicated, but they came straight from his heart, making them more valuable than any gift he could have bought. The way he kept squeezing my shoulder while he talked reminded me when I was little and scared of thunderstorms, that same gentle, reassuring touch that always made everything feel okay. His special words weren't just advice, they were like pieces of his heart that he was sharing with me. He talked about his own childhood dreams, some that came true and others that didn't, but how each one taught him something important. Dad told me stories about meeting mom, their early struggles, and how they faced everything together with love and patience. He shared funny moments I'd never heard before, like how he almost fainted at my birth, or how he used to practice his parenting speeches in front of the mirror when I was a baby. What really got to me was when he started talking about the future, not just mine, but his too. He talked about wanting to see me grow, succeed, and find my own path in life, even if it's different from what he imagined. The way his voice got softer when he talked about someday watching me had my own family or achieve my dreams made me realize that parents never stop dreaming for their children, no matter how old they get. Sitting there listening to Dad's words, I noticed things I usually miss in our daily rush, like how his eyes crinkle at the corners when he smiles, or how his hands, rough from years of hard work, move gently when he's trying to explain something important. He shared wisdom about money, telling me it's important, but not as important as being able to sleep peacefully at night, knowing you've done the right thing. He talked about friendship, explaining how true friends are rare and precious and should be treasured like the most valuable gifts life gives us. The way he described love is different from how movies showed. He said real love is more about the quiet moments, the small sacrifices, and the choice to stick together even when things get tough. What touched me most was when he said that no matter what happens in life, no matter where I go or what I do, his love for me would never change. It like he was giving me a safety net made of words, something to catch me whenever life gets too hard to handle on my own. The sun was setting outside our window by the time Dad started wrapping up his special talk, painting the room in warm orange and pink colors that seemed perfect for such a heartfelt moment. He talked about how life is like a long book with some chapters being happy and others being tough, but each one important in its own way. His voice got really soft when he mentioned how watching me grow up has been the best chapter of his life, even though there were times when he wasn't sure he was doing things right. Dad made sure I understood that making mistakes is normal and okay, it's how we learn and grow stronger. What really stuck with me was when he said that no matter how old I get or how far away life takes me, I'll always be his child, and our home will always be my safe place to return to. These weren't just words, they were like promises wrapped in love and sealed with all the years we've shared together. As he finished talking, pulling me in for a long hug, I realized that these weren't just as special words for today, they were his heart's collection of everything he's ever wanted to tell me. Finally, finding their way out the room felt different after Dad shared all these precious words with me, like the air itself had changed and become filled with deeper meaning. He ended by talking about our family traditions, the little things that make us special, like our Sunday morning pancake ritual, and the way we always leave silly notes for each other in lunch boxes. His voice got stronger when he spoke about the importance of keeping these traditions alive, passing them down like treasured family recipes. Dad shared his biggest wish not for me to be perfect, but for me to be genuinely happy and to always remember who I am and where I come from. He talked about how family isn't just about blood relations, but about the bonds we choose to keep strong through good times and bad. The way he described the future was hopeful, like he was painting a picture of endless possibilities, but always with the reminder that no matter what path I choose, his love and support would be my constant companion. These weren't just words anymore, they had become a kind of invisible bridge between us, connecting his life experiences to my future, his hopes to my dreams. As darkness settled outside and the room grew dimmer, Dad's final words carried a special kind of magic that made everything feel possible. He talked about courage, not the kind you need for big, scary moments, but the everyday kind that helps you stay true to yourself when life gets confusing. His eyes got misty when he mentioned how proud Mom would be of our little family, how we've stuck together through thick and thin. Dad shared his deepest hope that I would find the same kind of love he shared with Mom, not by searching desperately, but by being patient and true to myself. He told me about the power of kindness, how costs nothing to give, but means everything to receive. The most beautiful part was when he explained that even though he won't always be around physically, his love in these words would stay with me forever, like a compass helping me find my way when life's path gets unclear. As he finished speaking, pulling me in for one more tight hug, I could feel all these special words settling into my heart, becoming a part of who I am and who I'll go to be. The evening had grown late, but Dad's words kept flowing, each one feeling more precious than the last. He started talking about the importance of finding joy in simple things like the smell of rain on a summer day or the feeling of accomplishment after working hard on something you care about. His voice grew softer as he shared his biggest regrets, not to make me sad, but to help me learn from his experiences. He talked about time, how it moves so quickly, yet so slowly, like water in the river never stops flowing. Dad opened up about his own parents, sharing stories I'd never heard before about my grandparents and the lessons they taught him, creating a beautiful chain of wisdom passing down through generations. What really touched my heart was when he said that being my father, it taught him more about love and life than anything else in the world. Through his gentle words, I could feel all the years of love, worry, hope, and pride flowing together into this one perfect moment between father and child, where everything that needed to be said was finally being spoken, not just with words, but with the heart. The night had grown deep, and Dad's fin words felt like precious gems being carefully placed in my hands. He wrapped up our special talk by sharing his greatest lesson of all, that life, with all its ups and downs, is a beautiful gift that should be lived with an open heart and grateful spirit. His voice, though tired from hours of sharing, carried a warmth that made me feel safe and loved, just like when I was little. He talked about how watching me grow has been the greatest adventure of his life than any dream he could have imagined for himself. Dad reminded me that even when life feels overwhelming or lonely, I should remember this evening and all the love and wisdom shared between us. His last words were simple but powerful, telling me that no matter where life takes me, no matter what challenges I face or what dreams I chase, I'll always have two things: his unchanging love and these special words we shared tonight. As we sat there in the quiet room, both of us wiping away tears, I realized that this wasn't just a father giving advice, it was him passing down his heart's entire treasure chest of love, hopes, and wisdom, making sure I had everything I needed for whatever life might bring my way.